Sandrunner card, we will use the ritualist of the flatlands as an example. First, we have the hiring cost of 1 flatland crystal. In scenario 1, the flatland ritualist was hired prior to the scenario, so the cost is not applied. However, when hiring other Sandrunners at the keep, the value represented on the bottom left will be their hiring cost. Next is the Sandrunner's ability. The flatland ritualist may perform a ritual at the cost of placing 1 ember stone on the ability icon while in the outland. Beside the ritualist's ability is a severed hand icon. This means the ritualist only has 1 hand and may carry 1 heavy item or 2 light items. This is similar to other Sandrunners, but if the ritualist is carrying a weapon, they are unable to use the weapon for its attack, defense, or special ability. However, some weapons such as the short claw dagger, for example, have a severed hand icon. This indicates that the flatland ritualist is capable of using this weapon. Next to the ritualist's ability is their stamina value of 2, represented here. Stamina plays a vital role when a Sandrunner or Wanderer returns to the outpost injured. Upon return, a stamina check must be resolved while in the night phase. Above the hiring cost is Flatland Ritualist's Insight slot. If the Ritualist ever acquired Insight by interacting with an outland pillar, an Insight token would be placed. This Insight token must correspond to the region where the Insight was acquired. Insight will alleviate the cost of placing an Emberstone when activating the Ritualist's ability. If an ability is ever activated, place the Sandrunner's position token over the ability icon to show that the ability has been used and is now exhausted. Reminder: many Sandrunners do not have an Emberstone requirement or the ability to acquire Insight. In this case, their ability would be activated at no cost. The back of a Sandrunner card indicates their resurrected side. If a Sandrunner dies, they will be placed in the crypt on their resurrected side. This acts as a reminder that once resurrected, the Sandrunner is now in a different form. Next, we will show how to resurrect a Sandrunner. While in the night phase, the Sandrunners may apply blood sand to a dead Sandrunner in the crypt. Once applied, the resurrected Sandrunner may join the group and continue exploring the outland. Resurrected Sandrunners will have improved stamina. In addition, resurrected Sandrunners gain an instinct ability, shown in the top left corner. There are 3 types of instinct abilities, and these can benefit the group while in combat. A Sandrunner's instinct ability may only be activated if a threat has the matching instinct icon of the Sandrunner. Next, we will show how injuries are displayed on a Sandrunner. If a light injury is suffered, place a damage token on the Sandrunner with a light damage icon downward facing. A Sandrunner with a light injury may still carry either a heavy item, 2 light items, or a weapon, but they will be unable to attack while in combat. Note: a Sandrunner with a light injury may still use their ability while in the outland. In addition, they may still defend themselves in combat with a weapon or item. An exception to this are Sandrunners who are resurrected, or Sandrunners who have a Vanguard ability while in the Vanguard position. These Sandrunners are able to continue fighting while having a light injury. If a heavy injury is suffered, place a damage token on the Sandrunner with a heavy damage icon downward facing. A Sandrunner or resurrected Sandrunner with a heavy injury is unable to carry any item or weapon and therefore must be dropped. In addition, Sandrunners and resurrected Sandrunners with heavy injuries are unable to attack while in combat. Note: while in combat, other Sandrunners who are capable may pick up a dropped item or weapon at the cost of 1 talisman action. Sandrunners with a Vanguard ability, while in the Vanguard position, are unable to carry an item or weapon, but may continue fighting. If any Sandrunner ever takes full damage, place a damage token on the full damage side. The Sandrunner is now dead, and in addition to dropping an item or weapon, they will no longer be targeted by threats while the Sandrunner group is in combat. Note, if any Wanderers are fighting alongside the Sandrunners and become injured, the same rules will apply as a non-resurrected Sandrunner. Dead Wanderers are not brought back to the outpost, and instead will be placed at the bottom of the Wanderer deck, face up. Dead Sandrunners may be carried back to the outpost at the end of the day phase, while any dead Sandrunners who are left in the Outland will cause the Rakma track to increase by 1 for each dead Sandrunner left behind. The Death Collector may carry up to 2 dead Sandrunners, while it takes 2 Sandrunners without heavy injuries to carry 1 dead Sandrunner. Dead Sandrunners will be placed in the crypt. If the group ever returns to the outpost, and there is no room in the crypt, they must decide who will be placed in the grave. The Rakma track will increase by 1 for every dead Sandrunner placed in the grave. If a dead Sandrunner is brought back with the resurrected status, they must be placed in the grave. Reminder: in order to resurrect a dead Sandrunner from the grave, the group must visit the alchemist at the Mill of Embers. She has red sand vials for trade. Finally, we will cover status effects. If the Sandrunner group ever becomes cursed, a curse token must be placed in the active light inventory, and will remain until cured. If a Sandrunner or Wanderer is poisoned, a poison token will be placed on them. Upon return to the outpost, they must be placed on the healing stone and will remain until cured. Note, if a Sandrunner or Wanderer is still poisoned at the end of a scenario, they will die. If a Sandrunner or Wanderer become haunted, a haunted token will be placed on them. Haunted Sandrunners may continue to explore the Outland as normal, but they cannot activate their ability. Haunted Wanderers may also explore as normal, but cannot be taken to their desired settlement. If a Sandrunner or Wanderer ever becomes haunted for a second time, they die immediately. Lastly, we will explain the strengthened status. If a Sandrunner or Wanderer ever consumes meat, place the meat token on its strengthened side. This will increase their stamina +1 until the next night phase. In addition, it allows a Wanderer or Sandrunner to carry either 2 heavy items, for light items, or 2 weapons. Combinations may be made, such as 1 weapon and 2 light items, for example. Note, a heavily injured Wanderer or Sandrunner may consume 1 meat to carry either 1 heavy item, a weapon, or 2 light items.